A year later, a little boy named Awdry was feeling sick. So his father, who wrote books about the trains on the island of Sodor, F.W. Awdry, made stories about it. And the first engine he talked about was Thomas the Tank Engine. He did his usual cheeky pranks while shunting. And Edward the Blue Engine had been being started to be used less since he wasn't as strong as the rest of the big engines. So the engines like Henry and Gordon were far more valuable than Edward. But after he helped Gordon up the hill after some freight cars had pulled him back, Sir Topham had to put Edward back into regular service. After the Reverend told the story about Thomas and Edward, he told the story about how Henry was afraid of the rain. He went into a tunnel and screeched to his funnel and wouldn't come out again. The conductor tried everything. He blew his whistle till he had no more breath and waved his flag till his arms ached. And Henry still stayed in the tunnel and blew steam at him. "I'm not going to spoil my lovely green maiden red stripes for you," said Henry. Then along came an engine named Eagle, which never had an official name in the Railway Series books. Then, inside one of his passenger trains, was a man named Sir Topham Hatt, the man in charge of all the engines on the island of Sodor. Eagle then arrived with his passenger coaches. As Sir Topham Hatt came out of Eagle's passenger train, he spoke to Henry. "We will pull you out," he said, but Henry only blew steam at him. Everyone pulled except Sir Topham Hatt. "Ahem," he said. "My doctor has forbidden me to pull." And they tried pushing, but it didn't work either. "My doctor has forbidden me to push." Eagle was then called to push Henry out of the tunnel. The conductor waved his red flag and stopped him. Everyone argued with Henry. "Look, it has stopped raining." "Yes," said Henry, "but it will begin again soon, and what will become of my green paint with red stripes then?" "Alright, let's do this," said Eagle. And Eagle backed up and went up to the coaches and gave a push. He pushed and puffed and pushed as hard as ever he could. But still Henry stayed in the tunnel. "Come on, Henry, get moving," said Eagle. But it didn't work. After the pathetic attempts, Sir Topham Hatt gave up, and he told Henry that wished that the workmen would take away his rail and to leave him there until he was ready to come out. After that, as the workmen got ready to put a brick wall in front of Henry, Sir Topham Hatt spoke and told Eagle to take Henry's coaches for him, and to have 98462 take care of Henry's coaches. So as they uncoupled the coaches from Henry, Eagle said it brought the coaches back, which is onto another new line, so that another engine wouldn't bump into the coaches as well as Henry. As Eagle shunted the coaches onto the main line for 98462 to couple to, 98462 was just about to arrive. Now 98462, said Sir Topham Hatt, take Henry's passenger train while he's stuck in a tunnel. Yes, sir, said 98462. All Henry could do while he was inside the tunnel was to watch the trains pass through. And some of the other engines, like 87546, Edward Gordon, and 98462 would say, well, looks like somebody found a new shed. And 98462 would say, ha 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 ha, scaredy cat. And you know the rest what Edward would say. He would say hello, and Gordon would say, serves you right. As Henry was still inside, so the dirt inside had spoiled his lovely green paint and red stripes anyway. And no one knows how long he will stay in the tunnel. Before he overcomes the fear of the rain, he then decides to journey out again. He was inside the tunnel for over a month, until one day Gordon's safety valve burst, and Henry and Edward were the only engine strong enough to pull the train. After that, Thomas was beginning to grow tired of shunting coaches for the big engines. He wanted to pull passenger trains, and he wondered why. And the engines would say to him, "You're too impatient. You'll be sure to leave something behind," and they would laugh too. "Rubbish," Thomas would say. "I'll show you." Until one night Henry was ill, and he felt just as bad next morning. And as Thomas went to go fetch Henry's coaches, Henry was taken to the works by an engine called Adam. As Henry was sent to the works, Thomas went to go find the coaches. Come along, he would say to them. There's plenty of time, the coaches grumbled. As Thomas took them to the platform, he wanted to run round in front at once, but his driver wouldn't let him. "Don't be impatient, Thomas." Thomas waited and waited. The people got in, the conductor and station master walked up and down, the porter banged the door, but still Henry didn't come. Then Sir Topham Hatt came to see what was the matter, and the conductor and the station master told him about Henry. "Find another engine," he ordered. "It's only Thomas," they said. "You'll have to do it then, Thomas. Be quick now." That made Thomas feel very excited. So he uncoupled from the coaches and went out to the other side of the line. As Thomas went onto the other line, he got ready to back onto the coaches, ready to start. "Let's not be impatient," said his driver. "We'll wait until everything is ready." But Thomas was still too excited. What happened then, no one knows. Perhaps, as Thomas left, they forgot to couple him to the train. Or perhaps the driver pulled the lever by mistake. Anyhow, Thomas started without his coach. The men waved and shouted, but they didn't stop. Thomas thought he was being a really useful engine. But as he arrived at the signal box, he realized that he left his coaches behind. At the station, all the passengers were talking at once. They were telling Sir Topham Hatt what a bad railway it was. But as Thomas came back, they saw how sad he was and couldn't be cross. But he was luckily coupled to the train, and this time he really pulled it. Afterwards, the other engines would laugh at Thomas and say, "Look, there's Thomas who wanted to pull a train, but forgot about the coaches." But Thomas had already learned not to make the same mistake again. After that, Thomas was starting to get tired of pushing coaches and wanted to see the world. But the other engines didn't take much notice, until one night Edward came to the shed, and he told Thomas that he can take his freight cars and he can shunt coaches in the yard. And that made Thomas feel much better. And as they told the drivers and firemen, they said yes, and as Thomas shunted the freight cars into place, Thomas didn't know that the freight cars were so noisy. And that they always play tricks on an engine who was not used to them. Edward knew all about them, and he warned Thomas to be careful. But Thomas was too excited to listen. Thomas then coupled up to the freight cars. As the signal dropped, and as the shutter fastened the coupling, Thomas was ready to go. The conductor blew his whistle. Thomas started off, but the freight cars weren't ready. Oh, they screamed. "Wait, Thomas, wait." But Thomas wouldn't wait. Come on, he puffed. "All right, don't fuss. All right, don't fuss. All right, don't fuss," they said. Then, as Thomas was making it to his journey, he slowed down as he came to Gordon's Hill, while the freight cars got ready for their naughty act. As Thomas made it down the hill, he began to put on his brakes. We're stopping. But the freight cars didn't want to stop. Go on, they said. With banging their buckets, they pushed Thomas down the hill, and were rattling and laughing behind them. And as Thomas was racing to Marin, he rattled straight through and swerved into the freight yard. Then he saw some buffers. He shut his eyes and applied his brakes as hard as he could. And when he opened his eyes, he could see that he had stopped just in front of the buffers. There, watching him, was Sir Topham Hatt. "What are you doing here, Thomas?" he asked. "I've brought Edward's freight cars," Thomas answered. "Why did you come so fast?" "I didn't mean to, I was pushed." "You've got a lot to learn about freight cars, Thomas, and after pushing them about here for a few weeks, you'll know almost as much about them as Edward. Then you'll be a really useful engine." Thomas steamed sadly back to Alfred station with Edward's freight cars.